I'm Allen Iverson, leading scorer, Steel King, MVP. I'm 6'3", 75 pounds, and I've earned countless accolades. I'm a legend in my career. My nickname is The Answer. Today, I'm going to tell you about my life. I was born in 1975, Hampton, Virginia. When I was born, my mother was just a 15-year-old girl. My father had been arrested. My mother raised me and my sister on her own. Our life was so poor. The water supply was sometimes stopped. The house was on top of a sewage treatment plant. I remember there was a terrible stench in the air. My mother tried to keep me away from crime. She made me play all kinds of sports. But at that time, I just didn't like basketball. So I always cried on basketball practice days. Mom, I don't want to play basketball. Alan, the only way to get out of here in the future is to be successful in sports. You have to be successful in sports. I'm in high school. I was a famous football player. A lot of people were looking at my future. I've seen a lot of players go pro. Alan's talent is the best of them all. A hell of a talent. The future is in the NFL and no doubt about it. Check it out. Unbelievable. Of course, I was special in basketball. I can beat Jordan one-on-one. I led my teams to state championships in basketball and football and was named MVP in both. No one doubted that I had a bright future. But in 1993, I was 17 years old and something terrible happened to me. That day, I went bowling with my friends. Then one of the guys in the group of white guys there got into it with us. But I was cool with it. Racism was an everyday thing. I ignored that thing. But a guy was insistent. He ended up throwing a chair at me. That's when it started. It led to a huge black on white brawl. I didn't get involved in the brawl. I had more important things to do with my future. But when the cops came running in, my life changed. What a horrible mess! Those black guys must be the culprits. Arrest them. Oh no, I didn't do anything. They're the ones who started it. You're lying. I've been arrested as the main suspect in the case. I thought I could prove my innocence in the court. But discrimination awaited me there too. The defendant shall be sentenced to 15 years in prison. 15 years? That's ridiculous. I didn't do anything and they put me in jail with a heavy sentence. I was overwhelmed with despair. But there were people who saved me. Thanks to the anti-racism movement and television coverage. 4 months later, I was released. Alan, that was really hard for you. Mom, I think this incident made me a tough guy. When I went back to high school, the world was still looking at me with suspicion. I had a mountain of college scouts, and they were all gone. But there was nothing I could do about it. I just had to play. Then one day, my mother did it for me. She invited my college coach to the game. It was Thompson from Georgetown University, a prestigious basketball school. Mr. Thompson, please watch our Allen. Okay, I will. He's very popular, by the way. I did my usual thing in the game. I like him. Let's give him a scholarship. Thank you very much. That's how I was able to get into college. Allen, go for it. Okay, coach. I was an instant star in college. Then in 1996, to save my poor family, I entered a draft. A lot of teams were suspicious of my size and my arrest record, but the result was the first pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers Georgetown University's Allen Iverson. That's great, Allen. Congratulations. Thank you, Mom. I was finally able to lift my mother out of poverty. There were many people who doubted my ability. Can you make it at your height? They asked. They all asked me this question verbatim. The answer came quickly. 5 straight games with 40 or more points, winning a 1-on-1 against Jordan. I won a Rookie of the Year with a performance that surprised everyone around me. But while I showed what I was capable of individually, the team only won 22 games. A turning point came the following year. It was the following year when the head coach was changed to Larry Brown. Larry was known as a strict coach. His emphasis was on defense and team play. He had a style that pushed individual ability to the forefront. It made things very difficult between me and him. Allen, you need to play more like a team player. No, I'm going to win this thing on my own. Allen, play as a team. Pass it to the free teammates. Me and Larry had a lot of conflicts. The only reason he still kept using me was because he appreciated my obsession on winning. Larry wanted to take advantage of my scoring ability. He made the bold move of changing my position from PG to SG to take advantage of my scoring ability. The gamble paid off. In my third year, I became the leading scorer. The team made it to the playoffs. The next year, I scored even more. I was named to the All-Star and All-NBA teams. Although my performance and popularity were strong, the team was nowhere near winning a championship. After we lost in the playoffs again, people started asking these questions. Can't we win with an inversion-centric team? The next year, my relationship with Larry had deteriorated to a new low. I was the cause of it. To be honest with you, I hate practice. I give it my all in games, but not when it comes to practice. It's also true that I was late and absent a lot. It's ridiculous to make a fuss over a mere practice. It's only practice, right? On top of that, I've been downplaying team play. No matter how much Larry tried to tell me how important passing was, I didn't listen to him. The sky's the limit. I can't do this with Allen anymore. As the trade rumors became more and more real, I started to get scared. I've always loved Philly. I kept asking myself what I can do to change the situation, and I had an answer. Larry, listen to me. What's going on, Allen? Larry, I'm going to change. It's like all the great players. I want to build a trusting relationship with you, just like all the great players had a good relationship with their coaches. I want to build a relationship of trust with you. Allen, I want to do the same. Let's work together. I've listened to Larry. I've become more aware of my team play. So we did. And our team came out on top of the East. I personally had a perfect season. MVP, leading scorer, leading stealer. I had a perfect season. The playoffs came. We won a hard-fought game. We went into the finals against the best Lakers. Everyone said, the Sixers don't stand a chance. I was full of wounds though. I didn't even think about resting. All I cared about was winning. The first game, the away game, I was well marked. It was a tough fight, but I overcame the marks and scored. When it was all said and done, I scored 48 points and was undefeated until then. It was the first time I had ever beaten the Lakers. Although we ended up losing, the finals that year are legendary. In the later years of my career, I would go through multiple teams because I couldn't change my style. Allen Iverson in the dictionary. It doesn't say anything about starting on the bench. I'm a starter. Maybe I was selfish, no matter how old I got. But it's also a sign that I was able to be myself until the end. I'm a permanent fixture in Philly, a Hall of Famer. I was who I was and I had a great career. In 2016, I was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I gave a speech at that time. I was able to say thank you to certain people. Coach Thompson, thank you for saving my life back then. Allen, you've become a fine man. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have made it into the Hall of Fame at all. Coach Thompson saved my life, you know. You don't play for your physical size. You fight for the size of your heart. Can he do it with his height? He's a troubled kid. Can he handle it? The world had always asked questions. I've always had an answer. My way of life is the answer. The only person that can stop me is me, Allen Iverson.